Please take a moment to appreciate that by now, only 1 second has passed since the beginning of everything. Let's start this video by throwing a mouse, a dog, and an elephant from a skyscraper because that's a very rude thing to do. On Earth, there are about 4,500 cities or urban areas with at least 100,000 inhabitants. Some are bigger than others, so we'll assume that on average we need 3 nuclear bombs to completely wipe out one city. This grain of brain was cut into 25,000 slices. We screwed up. Humans have historically been horrible. Mars is awful. This lab-grown milk can even be turned into cheese. The larger ones could cause dinosaur-level mass extinctions and would be bad for the stock market. Evolve or become a blob of cancer. Here in the Kurzgesagt labs, we only work on the most important scientific problems like, what if we nuke stuff? Or how about we make this elephant explode? Or who could forget, look at this thing, it's really big. You might be in an eternity of pain or paranoia or having an endless psychotic breakdown. Making a tumor is hard work though. Our cells have kill switches that make them commit suicide. If you feel lonely, you are lonely. Optimistic nihilism poster that lets you enjoy some existential dread in style. Aiming for anything less than your dream job is failure. Gold is very dense, about 20 times denser than a duck. You're a loser and feel bad about yourself. Getting wet is a question of life and death. The transition towards stars begins with brown dwarfs, failed stars that are a huge disappointment to their mums. Tidal waves and misery. It's a beautiful day when suddenly a wild rusty nail appears and you cut yourself. Your mind is in your brain's structure, arrangement, and biochemistry. Nuclear explosions may be big, but space is bigger. And a flaming star of nuclear death is born. String theory comes with a lot of strings attached. Just having a list of the ingredients might not be enough to get a good consciousness cake. They literally swim through the air like a tiny gross alien through syrup. Okay, time to panic. This is widely considered one of the biggest anime betrayals in evolutionary history. A toaster that is unable to move, mind being locked in a cage. Nuclear weapons are about you. It's alive. We can leave nuclear power plants online longer. But what if we programmed a robot to feel pain and emotions? Einstein thought of it first and then decided it was stupid. Terminator seeds. What can robots demanding rights teach us about ourselves? At first glance, Mars seems familiar. An example of this intelligent behavior is hoarding food to eat it later. An ant is pretty stupid. Even more problematic is that we have an economic interest in denying robot rights. Let's drop our nuclear pile in the middle of the Amazon rainforest, just to show nature who's boss. So don't buy real estate on Triton. I'm Hitler. Throw the global pie. Mars moons are very convenient. So while you're waiting to see if the universe gets destroyed, loneliness makes you sit far away from others in class. Every single thing that's moving on screen has been moved manually. So for now, we only know that wormholes exist in our hearts and on paper in the form of equations. The most famous use of quantum computers is ruining IT security. So why not simulate quantum physics with actual quantum physics? Toxic is toxic. That's good stuff right there. Let's create a black hole with dirty laundry. Like a clown car filled with an infinite amount of information clowns. Cosmic housekeeping. The problem is that people are unreliable. Every second of your life you are under attack. But if we still squeeze the sock in with a lot of energy and violence, the room collapses in on itself and forms a black hole. A B cell and a T cell with the same setup meet, hell breaks loose.
This is a handprint, but not a hand. You can go to the fake cave we've built.
A slow pandemic will not be remembered by the history books. How to steal energy from a monster. The effects on the solar system are awesome. in the biblical sense of awesome, which means terrifying. But a meat explosion is much more fun than melting an elephant into a massive hot goo. Our consciousness is trapped in mortal machines made of meat. That cute girl or boy you like, ask them out. The Earth-Moon black hole of death system. This would usually hurt a tree, but these insects belong to a small group of VIPs. The weight of the atmosphere and also atmospheric pressure nearly quadruples, which is a bad thing if you like living. Sometimes the world feels, boring. Over the next few months, we'd like to make more videos about cataclysmic destructive events because, honestly, it's a lot of fun to make these. Imagine that. Killing someone from the inside and then taking their skin as camouflage. Brutal. Imagine someone coming into your kitchen and taking a few tools, a pan, and your garbage. I'm Jesus! Neutron star cores are like fossils. But on the moon, well, you know by now, no atmosphere, no mushroom. Picture yourself as a slinky falling down an escalator moving upwards. Black holes are the ultimate hard drive. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We first need to know the rules before we learn how they can be broken. Internet was also invented, which led to memes, but also to Facebook and Twitter, so all in all, we're not sure if this was a good development. Poison is really just a question of different perspectives. So the whole universe, it's just an egg. They look more like huge potatoes than moons. Are you God? Yes. In 2019, scientists successfully mapped a cubic millimeter of mouse brain, roughly the size of a big grain of sand. If we make this more complex and add in a few more atoms, we get a banana.
When Picasso saw the cave paintings on a visit that year, he reportedly said, "We have invented nothing."
Suppose a US nickel with a mass of about 5 grams magically collapsed into a black hole. We had found a way to create a bigger pie. But not only a bigger pie, but a pie that was growing bigger each year. There are other things floating elegantly through the water. Plastic bags that were found by scientists in 2018.
The hand stencils at Vasco say, "I was here." They say, "You are not new."
Or let us imagine an experiment. You and a random person from the street exchange cells. So when the workers tap the larvae's heads on the leaf, they release their sticky thread like tiny, cute glue guns. So is sub-Saharan Africa doomed? Don't die yet, we still need you. Bringing matter from here to our lab is what experts call a very bad idea. In one instant, basically all of humanity gets smashed into red puddles. But just quoting stuff is boring, so let's conduct a very important scientific experiment with an imaginary 100 megaton thermonuclear warhead. Antibiotics are like carpet bombing. If another star came too close to us, its gravity would pull on everything in the solar system like a spoiled toddler. The universe is a hologram. If you go into a black hole, you won't become the stuff coming out of the white hole. You'll only become dead. The pleasant warmth you feel at the beach is your skin heating up from exposure to electromagnetic infrared radiation from the sun. It might be a weird concept, but injecting the deadliest being on planet Earth directly into our bodies could save millions of lives. You can literally throw an ant from an aeroplane and it will not be seriously harmed. So, we've covered the space around our planet with millions of deadly pieces of destruction. With brilliance, you finish your day a little bit smarter. And no Mars dust to deal with. But what about plants that have been engineered to be toxic? You really might be stretched over a flat screen at the end of the universe. One raccoon came up with a much better solution. It tipped the tub over. So if your toaster's hardware was powerful enough, it may become self-aware. What if you could use genetic engineering to stop humanity's most dangerous predator? France started to train eagles to hunt terrorist drones. A Czech nuclear power plant held a bikini contest to pick their new intern, and people on the internet made a challenge out of eating bleach. You know, the usual stuff. Now we can finally talk about the most dangerous substance. Okay, there may be a lesson to take away here, but we're not sure what it is. We did all the maths though. We've also talked to many different scientists for this video, and they disagreed on a lot of things.